Hi, Dr. Wei. I want to apologize for the loud coffee shop. If I go upstairs, it'll be even louder, and if I go downstairs, I'll get criticized for talking. So, here I am in the middle of this coffee shop. Um, this week has been a little tough. One of our interns got fired, and we don't know why. Um, and I think this week is really fitting because I think this is good to talk about emotional intelligence because I think sometimes I struggle in this area. I'm a really big feeler. And so that can hurt me sometimes. Because I feel my emotions really deeply. And sometimes I wait to let them out until the last second or when they are really big. I don't really like to address any kind of sadness I'm feeling unless it's literally like coming up and I'm sobbing about it, which is definitely a weakness. But it's work has been hard lately, because I've noticed that my bosses don't really say good job or say I'm proud of you, and I know that is just the world and that's just the way life goes. um but it's affected me, um because I don't feel very like supported or like I am doing a good job, especially with one of the interns being fired and he is a lifeguard, so it's completely different, but still, um it's still hard. And it's hard to not get insecure about the kind of job that you're doing, especially when you don't hear things like, hey, you did this really well. And that's not necessarily like a, just me. Everybody kind of has noticed that, especially in housekeeping. Um, and so it has been difficult. And the internship's gotten long, and I'm really, really far from home. And not there's not anyone who knows me outside of only a month and a half or so. Um, and so it has gotten hard. Um, but I think emotional intelligence is really important because um, I think just communicating on a steady, like being able to communicate with like a steady head and not just bursting into tears because I have an issue with that. There was like a lot of the interns have these people that come in called summer staff. And these are volunteer college students who come in to volunteer for like 3 weeks or a month. And every department gets some, but the housekeeping department gets some. But then when I go to do my work, I don't get any summer staff. And so there was a couple weeks ago where I just kind of broke down because my job is in the heat, and I'm walking a lot, and you know, I I asked really politely if I could get some summer staff just because I do have a disability, to where I do get really overheated and muscle fatigue and blood clots. Um, they said no. Um, and so that was really hard. Um, but I understand why because we're low on summer staff and we need more summer staff. But um, yeah, it's about just trying to keep that level headedness of just um, being able to communicate without, um, at least for me, some people have a hard time showing emotion, and I show my emotion plenty. You know this, Dr. Way. Um, but because when I'm having a really good day, I'm able to uplift and be like pour out to people. But sometimes my cup can get empty, and that's the worst part. Um, because then I feel useless because that's kind of my nature to kind of lift others up and to like I'm a naturally pretty happy person, so when I'm not, I'm not. There's also just a lot of hard things going on in my life right now with um people back home, and I miss them. So um it's just been a hard week, but I really, all that to say, I really do love my internship and I'm really thankful for it. Um, and it's grown me in a lot of ways. And it's about, I think one of the biggest things I've learned is being able to work hard, and even when it's physically hard, to just keep going. Because in my life, um, with having a disease or whatever, anytime anything's been physically hard, it's been like, oh, well, let's not do that. But with this, no one's patting me on the back, being like, it's okay, go lay down. Like, no. So being able to push through that and do that fully. Also, I went to this little town called Nevada City. I think you should look it up because it's in a bunch of Hallmark movies. And I got this cute little jumper from a local store. And I got off the sale rack and the strap was too loose. And so and it was also broken. So the owner of the store started like sewing it for me, and we talked about how much fun, being in Nevada City is, but how she totally needs to come to Fayetteville. So I just thought you'd think that's funny. But yeah, it's gonna get better. And this is kind of the final stretch. Um, but we're kind of a little over midway through, around midway through. But we're gonna be okay. So anyway, yeah, I hope you're doing well, Dr. Way. And again, sorry for the loud cough shot. Okay, bye.